C-O-L-G-A-T-E, Colgate presents Bill Stern.
With the Colgate Shave Cream Sports Newsreel.
Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream Man, is on the air. Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream Man, with stories rare. Take his advice and you'll look keen. You'll get a shave that's smooth and clean. You'll be a Colgate brushless man.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Bill Stern with the 333rd edition of the Colgate Shave Cream Sports Newsreel.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to the Colgate Sports Newsreel, brought to you by myself, Bill Stern. Today we're going to talk about the Albuquerque Arrows. Where can we start with them? Let's see. Last year they struggled in the attempt to make the postseason. This year they're on the pace to do the same. Not only are they 11 games out of first place in the division, but their key core has been struggling. The league MVP from last year, Ollie Green, who not only put up massive numbers for home runs, but also hit for average, is struggling majorly this year. He is struggling not only at the plate, with only one home run in 33 games so far, but he's also struggling with average. His average this year is under 300, which is unheard of for Ollie Green. But not only can all the blame be put on Ollie Green's poor performance so far this year, but some of it has to go to Greg McMahon. Not only did he struggle last year for the team, but this year he was off to a horrible start again, batting just like 200 for the year. So, with that in mind, the management of the Arrows have decided that they shipped McMahon, along with Brian Wagner, two promising outfielders in the Arrows organization, to Tacoma for outfielder Jose Pagan and catcher Jose Soto. This now leaves the Albuquerque Arrows with a massive catching prospects in their organization. Sometimes I wonder, is that what their manager originally was? Was he a catcher? I think he was. Could that be the reason that they liked their catchers so much? The Arrows made numerous changes in the offseason. Not only have they signed many minor league players, but they also signed starting pitcher Bob Springer, who signed the biggest contract at 4 years for $90,000. They did not stop there, though. They also signed another starting pitcher, Greg Vickers, and first baseman Andy Helms. First baseman Andy Helms has yet to see much action for the Arrows, whereas starting pitcher Bob Springer is now 2-4 with a 5.66 earned run average. Not quite the big prediction that they had predicted when they signed him. Arrows management was quite happy to have Ricardo Gonzalez back off the disabled list for this season. So far he struggled a bit at the mound, going 1 win and 3 losses with an earned run average of 4.75. However, that does not tell the whole true story regarding his pitching. For so far this year, he started 7 games, and he's only given up 7 home runs, so he's averaging 1 home run given up per game, which isn't too bad. But his walks and hits and innings pitched is actually lower than it was last year. His opposing average is lower as well. But, however, his record is worse than it was last year. This is one of the reasons that they are struggling. But it's not necessarily their pitching that is struggling. It is also the defense that's behind them. Sounds like a regular occurrence for the Arrows, as they put offense ahead of defense more than not. One of the bright spots so far this year has been the performance of Tim Chandler, the star ace pitcher. This year he's off to a 5-2 start, which has been nothing but magnificent for him, to say the least. So far this year, everything has been down. His earned run average is lower than last year. His walks are lower. His walks hits per inning pitched, on base average, are all lower than last year. Where he struggled to begin the season last year, this year he is on a roll, on pace to win 21 games with 9 losses, with a .97 earned run average. Most certainly should win him the Cy Young Award for this year. The top players so far for the Arrows have been Jesus Alvarez, first baseman, who's got 5 home runs. He's batting .259. Twice he's gone multi-home runs this season. But still, the upbeat MVP for the team, I would have to say, would have to be Ricardo Gonzalez. Not only does he pitch every 5th game, but he also plays now. He's been center field since the trade of Greg McMahon. Before that, he was playing second base, which was almost guaranteed an error to a game. So far this year, he is tied for the league in home runs for the team at 5. But he's only batting .247, which is down from last year. But remember, folks, his main position is pitcher. So once again, folks, there's a lot of bright spots on this Arrows team. However, the team has been underperforming, and we don't know what they need to make the change. Maybe it's another trade. Who knows? All we know is that they're 11 games out, and the season is rolling along. If they don't get their acts together and start actually hitting, last year they were one of the powerhouse teams in the division. This year they're struggling to hit the home runs. A big shock. Maybe they took the cork out of the bats. Who knows? Only time will tell if they can turn it around. And like it was last year, the Arrows will only go as far as Ollie Green and Tim Chandler will take them. This is Bill Stern signing off, saying have a good night, folks, and see you next week.
Bill, this is Bill Stern for Colgate Shave Cream, wishing you all a good night.
Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream man, is on his way. Bill Stern, the Colgate Shave Cream man, had lots to say. He told you tales of sports heroes, the inside dope he really knows. So listen in next Friday night. COLGATE.
Ladies, your grocer would just love to sell you all the soap you want. Sure he would. But he can't do that right now because the country's shortage of fat is keeping you short of soap. That's why, ladies, you're asked to save your used kitchen fat. Save it and sell it to your butcher for 4 cents a pound. So fill a tin and turn it in. The Bill Stern Show tonight came to you from New York City.
This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.